What's up YouTube? Today from zephyr wargames, bringing you 60 card Zoonoids. So 60 card Zoonoids is basically, you know, Infernoids with the mill ability plus a couple of other engines like the Teratop engine and the Zodiac engine. You can put the Kaiju engine in this as well, but I've taken that out for cards like Lost Winds and stuff like that, which are a bit more effective with the mills. Like, I mean, yeah, if you mill Kaiju Slumber, you can search out your Kaiju. But me personally, I quite like Lost Winds. I think it's one of the strongest trap cards against zoos at this moment in time. So without further ado, we're going to zoom in and then we're going to crack straight on with this 60 card deck. So, triple Infernoid Decatron. Zoom in a bit more for you. There we go. Triple Infernoid Decatron. This card is, you know, one of the best Infernoids in the deck. You send this card, you get this card out with Void Feast and a Sagetti. So you get two of these out. Both of them send one Deviati and one Ononku, and then basically you can negate spell. One monster can negate spell. One monster can negate monster effects. You're pretty much locking your opponent out. They're gonna have to try and exhort a lot of cards to get past them. I run double Petrulia. So this card is basically your target one spell or trap card and destroy it. So it's your back row popper. Triple Harmonink. Sorry guys. So this card basically you target one monster on the field, face up, face down, doesn't matter, and pop it. So this is your bait out for Dryden and stuff like that. Plus it's your level 3 that can work with your Teratops in order to go into your Invoker and stuff like that, and just to help push your board. Double Infernoid Seismus. Now I'm not too sure on this pairing because at the moment I've got double Seismus and one Attendel. Now I don't know, I would probably rather, I'm debating taking out one Seismus and bumping up Attendel, because I think Attendel's effect's a little bit better. I mean, yeah, Seismus when he attacks, I think it's when it's banishing, when it battles. If this card attacks an opponent's monsters, yes, so it has to attack an opponent's monster. This effect can be activated at the end of the battle phase, so you banish one card on the field, which is really, really good. But because it happens at the end of the battle phase, depending on how big my opponent's board is, Attendel might be a little bit better, because when it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, it can make a second attack in a row. There's your one Sagetti, that's for your Void Feast combo to get your two Decatrons with your negate effects. One Antra, just for the pure bounce effect, like if your opponent gets a Crystal Wing on board, because you're not maining the Kaijus, if you side the Kaijus in, Antra can bounce it, plus Antra can also, you can Kaiju your opponent, Antra bounces the Kaiju back to your hand, you then Kaiju again. So it's very, very nice. Double Deviati, this is your Heavy Storm card and your Monster Effect Negator. And then Ononku is your Dark Hole and your Spell or Trap Negator. So it's very, very good. These are the two beat cards of the deck. Absolutely amazing deck cards. Triple Fairy Tale Snow. I did have it at 2, but this card is, you know, busted as in this deck, because you basically, you know, this wins you games. Hands down, it just has so many plays. Normal in it for Book of Moon, great. But just during your battle phase, your opponent might forget about Fairy Tale Snow, so you've got to remember you don't. And then you can attack and be like, your opponent will be like, ha, he's X amount of life points short. As long as it's 1850 or less, they'll forget about it. But what you've got to remember is, if you're going for game and you've got 2 monsters on board and 5 cards in grave plus snow, just banish the 2 monsters you've already attacked with. Like, it doesn't bloody matter. Just get rid of them. Snow, tap for game, done. Yeah, so it's an end all. Like, you get rid of everything. But if your opponent's not stopping you, you know, what does it matter? Anyway, onto the Zoo engine. Triple Rapia, double Whiptail. Pretty standard on that one. Just to go straight into your extra deck. And it gives you that alternative. I mean, Zoo, Infernoids give you that if you get hit with Barrier, so what? You've got a way around it. And the Zoos give you that, let's build up my board. I've got my Dryden to protect me. I'm just going to pop your shite during your turn. Plus, with my Infernoids, I'm going to DD Crow you. Double Maxi. Now, yes, this is probably the strongest hand trap in the game. However, the ability of the mill in this deck is kind of, if you don't open up with Maxi, which in a 60 card deck is quite tough, it may not be as relevant. I mean, if you mill it, it's kind of a wasted card. So you can take this out if you wish, but again, it's just too strong this meta not to have it in. Then we play the Teratop engine. Now, the only good thing about this is the Teratop engine, yes, it gets you into Invoker, it gets you into Totem Bird and stuff like that. But should you mill your Tokentomborg, which really, really sucks, but if you did, before you've got your Teratop out, you then still have your Harmadink that can kind of replace it just to help you get into your Invoker. Now onto the spells. 3, That Grass Looks Greener. Amazing artwork, great effect for this deck. This deck only really falters when it faces a 60 card mirror match, but then you just take these straight out. Triple Void Vanishment. This is part combo to your Void Feast if you don't draw into it. Triple Zodiac Barrage. This is just basically your extra rat. To be fair, this is help just boosting your engine, boost the Zodiac engine, and off you go. Double Twin Twister. Clear back row so your opponent can't start shite. 1 Tenki. Double Void Imagination, because we do play Tierra, and if you do go second with this deck, this is probably one of the very few decks at this moment in time that can really thrive going second, because Void Imagination, you know, you can bring out Tierra while your opponent's got extra deck monsters on the board, and then you can boost from there. Plus, Grass is Greener is active going second rather than first more. Left arm offering, because you can then search out whatever you may need if you open up with this. You can search out your Grass, you can search out your Barrage, you can even search out your Void Feast if you really, really want to, or your Void Imagination. 1 for 1 just gets you at Decatron because it is very, very strong. 1 Reasoning, even at 1, it's still a very, very good card because you run so many different levels. I mean, yeah, it's an odd one. I mean, I suppose if they call 4, you're in a little bit of trouble, but, you know, if you mill your, if you hit your snow, you're still okay to go. This is just a personal touch of mine. You can easily take this out for anything you want, to be honest. To be totally honest, you could take this out for a Zodiac combo if you wanted to. You could take it out and start working towards your Kaiju engine. You could put in another Petrulia. You could put in your Dark Hole. You put in another Void Seer. You could even put in your Attendel there. So Reason is an interesting one to touch on. Burial from a Different Dimension. I quite like this card. I think especially in this deck when you're banishing so much, there have been points where you would banish every 3 cards for your Deviati, your opponent strikes your Deviati, and you're like, alright, crap, I've now got rid of all my materials. But then if you go Burial, bring them all back, you can go off again. Void Seer, just for that quick play protection, and it can be dumped with, what's it called? Void Vanishment, so many voids. Void Vanishment to help get you into this bad boy, which is Void Feast. This card is amazing. You know, you send 1 Void spell or trap card from your hand or face up in your field to the graveyard, special summon up to 3 Infernoid monsters from your deck whose total levels equal exactly 8. That is where you go into your Shigeti and your 2 Decatrons, and you just go from there. Triple Lost Winds, very, very good in this deck. It's your breakthrough skill, but better. You know, if you mill it, great. You're setting it back down. You set it, again, really, really good. And then Spiritual Swords of Ravine Light, very, very good. You know, this goes out to, you know, Billy Brake, who, you know, he does amazing. He's probably one of the best duelists in the world at this moment in time. You know, and this is in one of his deck profiles, so full credit goes to him. But basically, once per turn, when your opponent declares an attack, you can pay 1,000 life points to negate that attack. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent monsters cannot attack directly. So basically, it's more for the mill, but you banish it, you stop your opponent doing anything, and next turn you go off and absolutely wreck. So that is the 60 card Zoonoids. Let's move all 60 of those to one side. Now onto the extra deck. You got your 1 Tierra because, you know, you're playing Infernoid. You've got the Void Imagination. You've got to go with Tierra. It's still a very, very good card. Double Psy-Frame Lord Omega. Again, this just helps recycle your banished cards. It also helps, it can recycle himself, so if you wanted to, you could take him down to 1, but, you know, ideally you want to keep him at 2, because if you get double of these on board, you know, happy days, you're winning. Gargoyle Samurai for games, Digustal Emeralds for recycling, and then you got your Zoo Engine, your double Dryden, your double Bauble, your double Tiger Mortar, and your 1 Borbo. And then again, Billy Breaks, Bougie and Kagasuchi is very, very good in this deck. You know, you make it with your Zoos. When this card is XYZ, someone send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard, so that's another mill, which is brilliant. Also, this card gains 100 attack, doesn't really matter on that. But the best thing is, if this card would be destroyed, if this card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from this card instead of destroying it, instead of destroying one of those monsters. So it can get past lightning. It can protect itself during lightning because it's a replacement, not an effect, or something like that. I can't remember the exact wordings. And then your Invoker and your Totem Bird. So, you know, you open up with a Barrage, you go into Totem Bird. You don't open up a Barrage, you go into Invoker. You know, GG, let's see your opponent try and play around all of that. Plus, if you, I know this is very disgusting, but can you imagine Totem Bird, right? Because you want to be a bit more protective. You end the board with a Totem Bird, a Trident, and then let's say an Emerald because you've shuffled stuff back in. But ideally, if you end your board with that, and then you go into your Void Feast, get out your Sagetti and your 2 Decatrons. You've got a spell negation, spell and trap negation. You've got another spell and trap negation. You've got a monster effect negation. You've got a pop during your opponent's turn, so they can't do shite. And your Sagetti's just sitting there going, yeah, well, when I attack, I'm gonna get rid of one of your extra deck monsters. So the boards can be incredibly strong, and it does look, you know, like 60 card decks weren't considered to be where they are now. I mean, you look at Prague, you know, 60 card Zoonoids and 60 card Paleos in the top cut, and there was still quite a lot of 60 card decks in the top cut as well. So maybe it's the way to go. But like I said, the more and more 60 card decks you play, the less and less reliable Grass is. However, this is, you know, a tweak, an update, a change. So I'm open to advice to make this better, just to see where it can go. I mean, it's very, very strong, and in link format, even if you don't want to take out the Zoo engine, but you can take out the Zoo engine. And because Infernoids don't rely on the extra deck, I mean, at this moment in time with links coming out, everyone is looking for the decks that don't involve the extra deck. Infernoids is probably one of the strongest out there, hands down. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course, duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner. So, thanks for watching this video. We hope you can join us some more. And as always, happy dueling, guys.